Coming from Art Universe's K at News is next. Coming up, is the air in your office affecting how your brain functions?
We'll take an inside look at a new duo of street journalists.
And bring you on an update on the proposed Warriors Arena.
All that and more next on KART News.
Hi there. Thanks for joining us at Academy of Art University's K at News. I'm Dan Jomo.
And I'm James O'Malley. Here's what we're working on. The California ballot will allow young adults to start drinking at the age of 18 years old. If it receives enough signatures for the ballot, it'll qualify for the November 2016 elections. The legal drinking age is 21, which was set in 1984 by the National Minimum Drinking Age Act. California will lose $200 million, according to the Secretary of State office. Mothers Against Drunk Driving opposes the ballot because it can put young drunk drivers at risk.
A boy is alive today because of the quick action of his autist friend. 13-year-old Brandon Williams performed the Heimlich maneuver on his friend Jessica Pellegrini when she choked on an apple at school. He learned to perform his technique from the TV show SpongeBob SquarePants. The boy's father, Anthony Williams, was amazed that his son picked up the life-saving skill just by watching a cartoon. San Francisco's famous Fisherman's Wharf might be hosting a new tenant. A medical marijuana dispensary is looking to replace a former yogurt shop along the strip. But not everyone is happy. The Fisherman's Wharf Community Benefit District is fighting to keep the dispensary out of the family-friendly neighborhood. The Planning Commission will decide next month if the dispensary is permitted to open on the wharf.
More and more medical marijuana dispensaries are being changed to delivery-only services as a way to cut down on foot traffic and minimize their controversial presence in neighborhoods. Let's go to Nathan Goodall with an inside look at medical marijuana delivery services in California.
Well, thank you. We're here with a man that's managed medical marijuana delivery services, Desmond Fitzpatrick. Thanks for being here.
Thank you.
So tell me a little bit about how this works, since the federal law does not support medical marijuana, but state law kind of does, and they're constantly changing. Could you elaborate a bit on how this works?
Well, nothing's for sure yet. As of right now, AB 266, which is a proposition that the governor has already voted in once, he will be supposed to be voting it in again in January. And then once that comes in, there'll be licenses and regulations and certain things that the medical industry will have to change to become legitimate businesses.
Interesting. And now, as I understand it too, they're making different licenses for different things, and they're really trying to make a system, I guess?
Yeah, well, I mean, you're going to have a license for cultivating, growing. You're going to have a license for distributing, transporting. There's going to be concentrate licenses to make certain types of concentrates, edible licenses. I mean, anything that really has to do with the medical industry will require a license.
Nice. Now you mentioned right now about concentrates. Elaborate a little bit on, I guess, the advancements in technology and science to create marijuana concentrates.
Well, like, I don't know, 10 years ago, people were making concentrates out of like the worst things, stuff you don't even want to have around. But then now there's this stuff called rosin, where rosin is pretty much the cleanest hash you can make at this point because it requires zero solvents. Water hash does have zero solvents as well, but you do get a lot more plant matter and such.
And what's the point of creating these new concentrates? What do they do exactly different from
Well,
weed?
it allows people to smoke less and feel the same effects as having to smoke a lot. I mean, it even allows you not to smell a lot like the marijuana, you know what I mean? And then it also is very, very good for edibles, to make them high doses for people that actually need it, like cancer patients and such. So it's pretty cool how hash is coming along really fast.
Nice. Yeah, it's almost, I guess, a stronger dosage.
Yeah, that's pretty much what it's going for, but I mean, even with a stronger dosage, you could smoke less, you know what I mean? So you still get the similar effects, it's just less smoking, you know what I mean? Less what we think about smoking.
Nice. Now, how would these concentrates, obviously they're made to help medical patients, but how could they have negative effects on our society?
Well, I mean, I personally feel like anybody that uses marijuana is demotivated somehow. There's something in it that just makes you not want to be as motivated, whether it's on a super scale, as in you just want to sit on your couch and play video games, or just slows you down where you have to tell yourself, I got to get up and do what I got to do. You know what I mean? Sometimes it's just just a little bit demotivating, and that's pretty much the only downside I've noticed.
Well, fair enough. We'll make sure to watch out for that.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, thank you so much for being here, Desmond.
No problem.
Back to you guys.
Thanks, Nathan. 3 security screeners at San Francisco International Airport were charged with accepting payoffs to wave cocaine smugglers through airport security on Friday. Joseph Scott, Michael Castaneda, and Jessica Scott were unknowingly involved in a sting performed by the DEA and TSA and are responsible for knowingly allowing 10 pounds of cocaine through security. Joseph and Jessica Scott have been since released on bail.
Despite the implications of drug abuse, Bay Area teenagers seem not to heed to all the warnings. I went to find out more. Recently, the misuse of prescribed and over-the-counter medications by teenagers in the Bay Area has made several headlines. Most teenagers make bad choices just to blend into a certain group in school. They go back home after school and parents don't notice changes at an early stage. Currently, a 17-year-old Pinole Valley High School student is in police custody for the distribution of an antidepressant called Xanax. School district officials say the only reason why the students who were hospitalized at the Pinole Valley High School was caught was because they were acting strangely. Marcus Walton says they have help programs set up to help such students stay away from drug abuse.
All of the high schools in the West Contra Costa Unified School District have health centers and a robust counseling program in order to be present for the needs of the students. Those resources are very important so that our students know that they have a place to turn to if they have questions or concerns, or if they're just feeling as though they may need to medicate or self-medicate for some reason. We'd prefer our students to go talk to the professionals and the counselors in our health centers.
Despite health warnings, misuse of medications by teenagers continue to rise. In 2014, 17-year-old Sarah Stoll saw a dangerous trend happening at his Dallas high school. His classmates were abusing prescription drugs and nobody was saying anything about it. He decided to let people know by making a documentary.
How do you start that?
I just took pills from the medicine cabinet.
I don't remember what it was, but it was a painkiller. So he gave me 2 of those and it just didn't hurt anymore.
A survey by drugfree.org in conjunction with MetLife Foundation saw 24% of U.S. high school students abuse prescription drugs. Parents need to continuously remind their teens of the dangers of drug abuse. In Richmond, I'm Jen Jomo for Academy of Art University's KAT News. School district officials say by watching a child's behavior closely, parents can detect at an early stage if a child is abusing drugs. So look out for the strange behaviors and know who your kids are hanging out with. In what local authorities hope is an economic preview of next year's Super Bowl, World Wrestling Entertainment are saying that last year's WrestleMania 31 at the 49ers' new Levi Stadium generated $139 million for the South Bay economy. The findings take into account such things as money spent on hotel rooms and at local businesses and restaurants. Santa Clara and Levi's Stadium will host Super Bowl 50 on February 7th. With our economy recovered from the recession and our dollar soaring, there might not be a better time to get out those dusty bags out of the closet and take a trip overseas. James O'Malley recently caught up with a couple of people experiencing the pros and cons of the current strong exchange rates.
Whether you've been dreaming of that backpacking trip abroad or visiting home to see your friends and family, right now is one of the best times to travel internationally. Due to the increasingly strong U.S. dollar, exchange rates around the world are as favorable towards the greenback as they have been in years, and in some places ever. In July of 2008, a buck bought you 62 euro cents, with the latest rates almost reaching parity at 91 cents to the dollar for a 30% increase in value. Likewise, in 2011, a dollar got you 90 Australian cents, while today it's worth $1.38, up 53%. Carolyn Jeffries is an Australian who lives and works in the Bay Area and travels back home regularly.
I just went back to Adelaide in August, and I decided to bring my trip forward a few weeks because the exchange rate was really good. I knew I was going to get get some good money. Everything in Australia tends to be more expensive. So like eating out is more expensive, clothes are more expensive. So with the dollar being strong, it sort of just evens out. It evens out a little and makes it seem a little more affordable.
While the strong dollar is great for those earning their income here in the States, for others visiting the U.S. from foreign lands, they're finding their money just isn't going quite as far here as it used to. Daniel Freeman is from Germany and told me the strong dollar as opposed to the euro is definitely affecting the way he is spending money during his visit.
Given the current exchange rate, I'm less likely to spend and then freely shop than I would have been. So you certainly think twice about buying something.
Experts say the surging dollar is down to a combination of a number of factors, from a recovering economy and improving trade balance, a smaller budget deficit, as well as higher interest rates as compared to other developed countries, which keeps large amounts of currency out of the market. In San Francisco, I'm James O'Malley for the Academy of Art University's KART News.
Analysts say that while the strong dollar will probably continue for the near future, everything is cyclical and you should take advantage of it while you can.
What you may not realize is that some of the foods we eat daily are dangerous. Your late lunch or snack all could be increasing the risk of cancer. Yoon Won has more.
We all know the processed meat is not only the carcinogenic food. In fact, some chemical additives and also the high temperature cooking could be increasing the risk of cancer for people. So does the reporter from the WHO really warning people to stop eating the carcinogenic food? Or what other kind of dangerous food we don't know? Let's take a look.
I heard that the McDonald's can make people cancer and it's not healthy, but for me, I think when I eat like twice a month, I think it's fine because sometimes I don't have time since I'm still a student and I have a lot of work to do. So I think McDonald's, like the fast food, is really convenient, so I think it's fine for me.
Yes, people always gonna to eat what they want to eat, but we have to remain on alert. In fact, foods you are eating could contain carcinogens. Just in last year, there is almost 1.5 million people diagnosed with some type of cancer. Perhaps it's time to look at what is in your foods that could be causing such a huge number of the new cancer patients.
Although hardly noticed, there are quite a lot of food can raise your risk of cancer. Potato chips, popcorn, canned or smoked food, flours, sugar, GMO food, or even diet food. Foods alike usually contain carcinogenic compounds or chemicals unavoidably from processing steps.
And also, according to the World Health Organization, food is not really causing cancer, but the carcinogenic chemicals what found in the additive of the food are generally recognized as unsafe. The carcinogenic chemicals that include the GMO soybean oils, preservatives, acrylamide, bisphenol A, folic acid, and the formaldehydazole were found in our food, and these chemicals could increase the risk of cancer for people. I am Wan, in San Francisco Academy of Art, KART News.
Thanks, Wan Yun. People really need to avoid these chemicals. Just a few simple changes in your daily life can significantly reduce your risk. According to studies conducted by Joseph Allen, a stuffy airspace can drastically impact a person's ability to work. On average, it was discovered that the cognitive functions double on the high air quality days. The test scores also showed that people's productivity was higher by 61% when the air quality was better.
Up-and-coming street journalists Tasha and Taylor show us how to keep it real. Two people can change the world by encouraging positivity and loving oneself. Daniel Robertson has a story for us.
I'm not saying I'm going to rule the world or I'm going to change the world, but I guarantee that I will spark the brain that will change the world. And that's our job, is to spark somebody else watching us.
Today we're going to take a look into how two young women plan to spark the brain to change the world. Taylor and Tasha are up-and-coming street journalists and activists who plan to encourage, change, culture, and positivity. How to Be Real is the name of their movement. Let's see what these two outspoken women have to say.
What's up, guys? It's Tasha. And I'm Taylor, and we're How to Be Real with the Mashup.net.
How to Be Real's motive is simple. Encourage positivity without being blind to negativity. We support local businesses, up-and-coming artists and brands, and anyone that encourages growth and progression. People always talk about change, racism, and injustice, but what have they really done about it?
Walmart and other major corporations take money out of our communities, and the media covers stories that are distracting society from finding self-love. How to Be Real combats obstacles like those by spreading truth and encouraging collective thought.
People want to see you doing good, but they don't want to see you doing better than them. They don't want to see you as better than them.
Yeah, no, not at all. Because if they notice that you're being better than them, or what they feel like is better than them, they'll start to notice that they are broken and that they are lost and that they are hurt, you know what I mean? And that they have things that they need to deal with. I think that people aren't ready to do all that. So they'd rather just be upset at you or hate on you or not like your shit and scroll right past.
Or like you said you went through, there are people who hate, don't want to associate, don't want to seem too pro-black, don't want to seem like they are supportive of black people. They don't want to seem like they're a proud black person. They don't want to identify too much with African history.
You can learn more about the movement at themashup.net. Back to the studio.
Thank you, Daniel. A doctor in Washington is suing a patient because she posted a negative review about him on Yelp. The patient was misdiagnosed and posted that the doctor's ego nearly cost her life. The doctor claimed the statement was malicious and untrue, and the patient's lawyer claimed the review was factual and also opinion-based on her perspective, protected under the First Amendment. However, Yelp posts only have limited protection, and stating untrue facts can end in a lawsuit. Congress is now reviewing ways to protect online review posters against businesses.
If you think you can trust online reviews, well, think again. KART News reporter Jasmine Griffin has this story.
Nowadays, people rely on customer reviews whenever they're purchasing something online. But just how much can you trust those online reviews? Fake reviews are becoming more popular than you think. Websites like Amazon, Yelp, and TripAdvisor are suing people who have published fake reviews on their websites.
Well, I don't think it's right because number one, it's false information, and number two, you're letting everybody know that it's you know, it's a 5-star thing when really you don't know that. And it's just false information, pretty much.
People would purchase their fake reviews from websites like Fiverr, a website where you can create and sell your own service for only $5 up to $20 or more. According to the Wall Street Journal, about 70% of people trust online reviews, while 83% say the online reviews influence their purchasing decisions. Websites like Amazon and Yelp now have a wide range of mechanisms that can automatically detect reviews that don't validate the guidelines. So now they can easily get rid of all the fake reviews from their websites. There are many different ways to find out if reviews are fake or real. One is if the review is short and vague. Another one is if there are a lot of 5-star reviews or only 1-star reviews. And also there are websites like FakeSpot and ReviewSpectic to help inspect reviews by providing the product's URL. In Benicia, I'm Jasmine Griffin for the Academy Art University's KART News.
256 apps are removed from Apple's App Store due to hidden software within them. The software accessed users' email addresses, apps they have previously downloaded, and the serial numbers of their smartphones. Apple states that they have identified the group and said they will be working with developers to help get updated versions of the apps that are safe for customers. YouTube is offering a new paid version of their service called YouTube Red. It plays every video on YouTube with a few new features. Red adds the ability to save videos offline and keep videos playing in the background if you open another app, and is also coupled with an unlimited subscription to Google Play Music. These features are big for those that use YouTube to listen to music, but the biggest appeal for Red is that it cuts out commercials in any YouTube video that is paid content. YouTube Red currently costs $10 a month.
Don't hail or call for a taxi if you're heading for Mineta San Jose International Airport. After Uber and Lyft started going to the San Jose airport for no more than $20, taxi drivers have reached their breaking point. The taxis wait outside of the airport honking and not actually driving customers. The airport is working to minimize the amount of sitting taxi cars. Starting later this year, you might not have to queue up to get on or off a BART train as long as you used to. The transit agencies say their new fleet of cars that will start arriving in December will feature 3 doors instead of 2 that are standard on the current trains. Although the actual capacity of the car will stay the same, the extra set of doors should make entering and exiting trains easier. BART has 776 of the new cars on order, which are expected to cost $2.5 billion.
Speaking of types of transportation, something was spotted flying in the Southern California sky. Here's Karan Brown to question the official story.
Meteorologists and astronomers are looking for somewhere to point the finger. Saturday evening, Bay Area witnesses and sky watchers reported blue and green lights flashing and hovering before falling after 10 minutes. It was seen from the north in Santa Rosa down to San Diego in Southern California. After a lot of speculation, the Navy confirmed that the unknown object was actually an unarmed missile fired by a submarine off of the coast of Southern California. However, if it was a planned test, why were we not warned about it beforehand to avoid suspicion and to minimize fear? They had to know that the public would panic if they saw something weird in the sky. I think there's more to it, but that's just my opinion.
Blue party cups and paper plates are scattered everywhere in Ocean Beach, San Francisco. The National Park Service recently has removed most of the trash cans at the local beach in hopes of reducing litter. While neighbors and beachgoers call it a failure, the recreational park community has been seeing less trash in recent weeks.
The Bay Area and surrounding towns have gotten pretty used to sunny days during the fall season, but a thunderstorm, complete with crackling lightning and a heavy downpour, surprised us Monday morning. The rain came on strong, but it was short-lived and did not do much to help the drought situation here either. There has not been any increase in snowfall totals yet in the Sierra Nevada either, but the National Weather Service predicts some snowfall to help fill our reservoirs this week.
The San Francisco Planning Commission approved the Golden Gate Warriors multi-use arena on Thursday, but there are still many debates over the Warriors' proposed arena. Has centered around car congestion in the Mission Bay. The city's environmental report raises the new traffic impact should be coming with this multi-use arena.
Ariana Grande and Justin Bieber have been in the news lately. Here's Jasmine Griffin with the latest in entertainment.
Hi everyone, welcome to this week's entertainment news. Ariana Grande fights back against body shamers who are comparing her to the Modern Family star Ariel Winter. Someone had commented on Ariana Grande's Instagram saying that her body is unflattering compared to Ariel Winter's body, and this is what she had to say. Tweets, comment statements like this are not okay about anyone. We live in a day and age where people make it impossible for women, men, anyone to embrace themselves exactly how they are. Diversity is sexy, loving yourself is sexy. You know what is not sexy? Labeling, comparing, and body shaming. Not only that, but in a recent radio interview, the two male hosts asked a sexist question which frustrated Ariana. Take a look.
If you could use makeup or your phone one last time, which one would you pick? Makeup or your phone?
Is this what you think girls have trouble choosing between?
Yeah, absolutely.
Is this men assuming that that's what girls would have to choose between?
Now, this is not a question. Can you really go anywhere without your cell phone?
Yes.
How long can you go without looking at Twitter?
Many hours.
Hours.
Many hours.
I don't believe it.
Absolutely, I have to do it. But, you know, when I'm at a dinner table, I like to be present and talking.
Good quality.
Eye contact.
Ladies, learn. Listen and learn, ladies.
Boys, learn.
Oh, excuse me.
Come on.
After he stormed off, he posted this on his Instagram. Sadly, it's been a rough week for me. Long days, no sleep, while having to be on, as they would say, for cameras, fans, etc. But then a couple of days after his concert, Justin is seen flipping over a chair and storming out of a restaurant in France. Well, I guess he is having a rough week. Kanye West's Yeezy Season 2 clothing line is gaining a lot of popularity, but it seems like Tim Gunn from Project Runway isn't too much of a fan. In a recent interview, Tim had this to say about his clothing line. I think they are a bunch of dumb clothes, just basic pieces. But when it comes to fashion, I say to people all the time, if you want guidance in fashion, just consider this. If a Kardashian is wearing it, don't. Ouch. On a brighter note, the Peanut movie is out and it is the second highest movie in the theaters, with Spectra being number 1. The movie has made over $50 million since the release date on Friday. Fans of Charlie Brown absolutely love this movie, even though some were annoyed about the siblings Lucy and Linus being in the same class. Well, that's it for right now. See you guys next time.
Thank you, Jasmine. This new artist whom we want you to meet is making the painting that will make you hum, one of Rihanna's most popular songs. We had the pleasure of meeting her in Berkeley by first talking to her former apprentice. Ladia Kondrachna is at the location with more details.
With Crabtree, I think a lot of her art has to do with the pop culture and what's popular in society in modern time. At the same time, as an artist, you also have to have great attention to details. She taught me that I have to pay attention to the tiniest little element of a painting or a piece of art, because that's what's gonna make a piece of art cohesive, and that's what's gonna bring it to the next level.
Angie Crabtree is a painter from Berkeley who has been passionate about art ever since she was a child.
I knew I wanted to pursue an art career at a very young age. I started taking art lessons when I was 5 years old, and the person that really inspired me to become an artist was my first art teacher, Lisa Russell. She hired me to assist teach with her when I was 12, and when I was 16 she gave me my own classes to teach. So I think around that time I really decided that that was what I wanted to do. I knew that art was my thing.
Crabtree's art revolves around diamonds, and the reason behind her interest towards them has quite a deep meaning.
For the past few years, my work has revolved around blingy fashion trends, and recently I started focusing on diamonds because I became very interested in their power and controversy. I like to paint them really big. My biggest has been 5 feet tall because I like to invite my viewers to look at something very small, really big, so they get up close and personal. I'm currently working on 4 commissions. The first one is a paracut diamond, and the other 3 are antique diamonds for a company in LA called Jewels by Grace.
Crabtree is soon going to start a new series of her paintings, which will be displayed at Rose-Arc in West Hollywood in the summer of 2016. In Berkeley, I'm Ladia Kondrachna for Academy of Art University's K-Art News.
Well, that's it for this edition of Academy of Art University's K-Art News. I'm Din Jemel.
And I'm James O'Malley. Thanks for joining us. See you back here tomorrow night. Have a great evening.